This blue dot's going on the air. Looks like he's going everywhere. With his pet Jenny and his blue dot family. Travis is his tech guy. Put that blue dot in the sky. On his first Naruto run. Looked like this blue dot was having fun. He is not a mouse. Moved from the shop to the house with Marsha and his clan. This blue dot is the man. Travis is his tech guy. Put that blue dot in the sky. Looked like he was having fun. Looked like this blue dot is gonna run. He likes to say every day in his own special way. Are you shitting me? And he loves his blue dot family. We love John, he is the man. And we love this special clan. We are a blue dot family. And we like to
We are indeed a Blue Dot family. How y'all doing, baby? It is Tuesday night, Blue Dot family meeting. Special dispatch from Deep State I got concerning the upcoming, what you call it? The circus. Yeah, nope, baby, it's more than that. I'm just kidding. It's a very important week, and it starts tomorrow. Anyway, I want to thank Janda Shedler for showing up, Joy Peters, Morris Aurora, you know I was going to screw it up. Aunt Squirrely, Alicia Thomas, Tamara Harrington, baby, we love you, and Justice for All Americans. I seen y'all scoot by there. Anita Clark's here, Linda Gallup's in the room, Patricia Johnson, and Andrea Mitchell. Bethy Brown's even here, baby, and Joyce Brewer. I'm just loving this shit. That's our family, baby. YouTube, Facebook. I didn't see Dwizzle Snizzle out there. He's usually there on Periscope. And our Twitter family. I'm so glad to see all of y'all showing up. Tonight's the big night, baby. Oh, shit. Well, I'll do a rant tomorrow and pull them out. I got mail today. Well, I'll call it out. I got mail today. I got our monthly update from Mary Ann McLaughlin up in Royal Oak, Michigan. I know it by heart, baby. And so we got the monthly update from her. And I got my funny times that I get from Paulette Hallbeck. I get every month. It's a comic newspaper type thing. I just love it. So I got that mail today. I'll call it out tomorrow. I'll have it. Yeah. I like my funny times. I get that every month. Anyway, baby, what's going on, John? Well, shit, boy, howdy shit. We got a week coming starting tomorrow, and everything's going to be out in the open. It's going to start at I guess 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock my time. Let me see. I think it starts at 9 o'clock their time, so it's going to start about 8 o'clock my time.
It sounds about right.
I think so. And it's going to be a full day. The first one coming up is going to be Bill Taylor. He is the top U.S. diplomat in Ukraine after Yovanovitch got run off. You know, Donnie kind of screwed her over in the back. And then we're going to have George Kent later on. He's the Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for European and Eurasian Affairs. And then we're going to have Maria Yovanovitch, the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, who was bad-mouthed and had a campaign of lies out there. Giuliani stabbed her in the back. Donnie stabbed her in the back. And they recalled her, a 30-year diplomatic corps veteran, cheated out of a career and bad-mouthed by a cheap crook out of New York. Go figure. 2 cheap crooks out of New York. And 2 out of Russia, I guess, or Ukraine, Levin and Igor, those 2 guys. We got a whole lot of shit coming this week, and it's going to be out there in the open for everybody to see. And I'm just tickled to death with that, because that's what needs to happen. It has to happen out in public. It has to happen where everybody can hear it, and hear these people testify exactly what they said behind closed doors. Their testimony's already been taken. This is the part where the Republicans all whined about secrecy, and the Democrats are hiding bullshit. Well, let's put it out on the floor, baby. And now they're going to be worried about it. But there's so much more going on besides that. I did notice a couple stories. Today, the U.S. Supreme Court is looking at the DACA case. They have not come out with a ruling as far as I know at this moment. They hadn't when I come back here. But they did rule on a case today that allows the Sandy Hook families to continue their lawsuit against Remington Arms Company, the ones that made the weapon. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal because they came at it from a different area. They didn't attack the Second Amendment. They attacked Remington for their marketing strategy, because they market the gun as it was engineered to deliver maximum carnage. It is advertised as a combat weapon, and promoted and designed and promoted as a military weapon, and it violates Connecticut law. And so the Supreme Court ruled, say, yep, you can go after them for their advertising, because that's the way they try to sell it. They're trying to sell to a specific group out there, the Rambo wannabe, the idiot that wants to, run around and shoot his fellow Americans. That's the only good I see. It's for home protection. Well, you're a lousy shot with a pistol. Is that what you're telling us? You're just making bullshit up for your love affair with a weapon that was designed for one thing, to kill as many as possible. But I was glad to see that. We're gonna watch that case and see how it progresses. And what else? Oh, another little story we can talk about today is the Southern Poverty Law Center has a hate watch. It's a group that they track hate groups and whatnot like that. And one of the stories that has come out is that Stephen Miller is exactly who we thought he was, a little racist Nazi asshole that crawled out from under a rock. And I guess this goes all the way back to when he was in high school. People identified him as a little asshole, a little racist asshole. But the Southern Poverty Law Center put out this little prick between March of 2015 and June of 2016. Little Stephen Miller messaged Breitbart News 900 times. 900 times, and it's all about racism and immigration and immigrants, and he's a nasty little toad. He's a little cockroach. He's been identified as this all through his history. That's where he goes. He's a little racist asshole, and that tells you the fact that he is still in the White House, still an advisor to the president. Tells you the president's a racist asshole. He likes having Steve Miller around. He likes Steve Miller's ideas. He just loves the shit that he cranks out. Birds of a feather. Anyway, yeah. Oh, he also, I've got my notes down here I was looking at. He also contacted Breitbart. He contacted InfoWars, trying to promote the Sandy Hook hoax. I wish they'd sue the shit. Oh, and he also wanted media to go, or somebody to go examine Amazon and see how many communist flags they sell, how many communist flags, and also right after the shooting, in South Carolina at the Mother Emanuel Church. He wanted to find out how many rebel flags were being sold. He wanted to track it that way. He's a racist little cockroach, and it's disgusting to watch him scooter around in our White House, smearing that that black shit that cockroaches do all over the place. It's all over our white. We're gonna have to clean that shit out, baby. We're gonna have to clean it out, and it's gonna be by our vote that does it. Anyway, there's a lot of other news. Pete Buttigieg is now running number one in Iowa, so the polls keep on changing. There's still a lot of activity. We have new players in the game. Are you shitting me? And we're getting there, baby, slowly but surely. But I thought the numbers were going to be going down, and all of a sudden they're going back up. Anyway, much to talk about, much coming up. How are you, Jen?
Oh, I'm all right. How are you tonight?
I'm doing, well, sort of good. It's cold.
I came upon a piece of really good news.
Oh, we like good news.
Do you?
Most of the time.
Oh, how about if it has to do with like one of those really nasty scum bucket, race hating, people hating, gay hating Republicans?
Yeah. We talk about them sometimes.
Okay, fair enough.
Good deal.
Peter King announced his retirement.
Yes, he did. Thank you for bringing that up. He is a congressman up in New York. He has been a congressman for how many years? Jesus.
Way too
many. I think 14 terms, I think. And another indication of rats jumping from a sinking ship. These people are trying to, in my opinion, to save their reputation completely before the next big paragraph in our history starts with the words, the Republican Party were so corrupt and vile that blah, 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 blah. That kind of story. Yeah, Jen, I got a little kick out of that too. There's what is that?
A little too late. He barely won his last election anyway.
Now, if we could just get rid of the other racist king.
Steve.
The senator from Iowa.
Yeah,
Steve King, isn't it?
Yep, Steve King. That's our number one target around here. He's the asshole. Let me remind people that has that picture sent and had his congressional desk, and there's a cup on his desk, and it's stacked full of flags, and one of them is the rebel flag, the Confederate flag.
I tell you, every time that man is back home in the state of Iowa, and the wind's coming from the south, I can not only smell them, but trees start to die.
It's hazardous waste, baby. That's what the Blue Dot Hazardous Waste Removal Team is set out to do. We're out to remove scum like that, because it does. It affects everything. Not only our laws, but it affects our crops. They die when exposed.
Pretty good segue, wasn't it? Hey?
Yes, it was. Very good, Jen. I'm impressed, baby. Here, where's my... You get a bell. Anyway, it's great. Velda, how are you today?
I'm doing fine.
Are you? How's the weather in your place?
Yeah.
How's your place? Are you cold?
Right now we're probably about 29. Going to be down to 18 tonight.
We
only got up 37 today.
I got up this morning. It was 34. Holy shit. Yesterday we were, like 79, near 80 or something?
Yeah, something like that. Started off in the 70s,
nice warm day.
Then cool front blew in and freezed us all
it
out.
Dropped like a rock. It's cold out there, baby. This is not what I signed up for. And we're going to be cold for the next few nights. So I know anybody north of me, which is almost all y'all, I know y'all got to be freezing, except maybe over there in Southern California or something. But
I'm only 800 miles from you, and I'm already freezing.
Oh, man, I'm telling you. Layers. That's the key.
All
Layers.
the water out for the chickens all froze up to...
Oh, Lord. Got to go out there and break it up so they can smoke it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had to go out and check Jenny first thing this morning. I found her in her stall, the one that's winterized and had all the windows closed up. And, I could see where she had been laying down. I seen the shape of her in the hay. So... she had like about 3 cats in there with her. So I guess they was all keeping each other warm in there. But I was glad to have it. Rick Davis, how are you, buddy?
Cold.
Good. Nice to see you drop by.
It's like 17 outside.
Ay, shit.
Yeah, our high tomorrow is 21.
Oh, no. See, that would be painful for me to endure. It really would.
Actually, I've been looking at the snow all day and going, I ain't going out there.
Nope, that's what I'd be saying. I ain't going out there. Shit, no.
I got everything I need for the week. So
There you
I'm
go.
set.
There you go. That's what I would be. I'd look at it from the inside near the fireplace. Boy, look how pretty that looks out there. Somebody take a picture. I'm telling you. And when it comes to cold weather, I'm a wuss. I have to, if I have to stand it, if it's a matter of survival, well, hell yeah, you tough up, you bite the bullet, and go on. Snicker. Yeah. But if you can avoid it, it's sort of like beets. You don't eat that shit unless you're forced to. You know.
I got a 39-year-old daughter and grandkids around here. Shouldn't have to do that shit.
That's right. That's what they're there for. Fetch Grandpa something. There you go. Get me what I need. S.C. Smith, how's it over in your neck of the woods out in Florida?
Well, it's going to get down close to freezing tomorrow, but that'll be it, and it'll be back to nice weather, and I ain't got nothing to complain about it. I'm in the house, I'm not freezing, and I'll have to get up in the morning and spend about 5 minutes in it getting to work, and that'll be the end of it. So I got nothing really to complain about as far as the weather, I guess.
Well, I was talking to my brother on the phone. He's up in Tennessee, and that's what I told him too. The difference between my forecast and his forecast is our winter goes away in a few days.
Yeah. It'll be actually into like for the rest of the week. It'll be like low 60s in the morning and into 70s in the afternoon. And it's nothing to complain about. I definitely don't have it bad like some other people do.
No, that's exactly what I was thinking from Royal Oak, Michigan, Marianne McLaughlin. When she writes, she lets us know how the weather is, how her boss is, and all sorts of aspects of her life. And I could just imagine just how cold she is up there. The name went by, but Carmen, somebody from Puerto Rico, is watching. Baby, we appreciate that very much. I just seen them go by, on the thing. I noticed it.
Yeah,
that's good.
We got
Cool.
Puerto Rico in the house. How about
Worldwide.
Keith? We got Keith in the house because I know it's cold up in Minneapolis.
Yes, sir. 19 degrees, strong winds.
19 with strong winds. Well, I hope you're staying inside, bub. Staying warm.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, I bet. Man, yeah, that's that. The weather. I think they said this little thing was going to break like 300 records across the country with low temperatures. But don't worry about none of that global warming shit, that climate change. It's probably just a myth.
Well,
Yeah.
here in Minnesota, this will be considered a heat wave in about a month when we start dropping below zero.
Well, yeah. Well, our weatherman on we call him Dead Wrong Dale, but he's usually right. But we just tease with him. He said today on the news that we are 30 degrees below our normal temperature for this year. So we're not supposed to. This is our January weather. Fronts like this that get around freezing, that's like January for us. A lot of times, not all the time, but many times in my life, I've been down here on Christmas Day in flip-flops and shorts, or a short sleeve shirt, or and get dressed up like your nice blue jeans and short sleeve shirt and go see everybody. Well, that's what we used to do before I did this. Now we stay home, and that's what we'll have. We'll have a nice family Thanksgiving and Christmas right here at the house. We enjoy it.
John, we up here we go swimming on January 1st.
Oh, kiss my
What's
butt.
the big deal?
No. Don't tell me you're one of them polar bear. Are you a polar bear?
Oh yeah.
Oh no,
Oh,
Jan.
yeah.
Jan, please.
Absolutely.
No,
In fact,
no.
My
one
daughter
year- one
Envy
year-
is too.
One year, I even talked my psychotherapist into going in with me. She declared me
You
nuts
talked him in.
afterwards.
You need to swap places with her. You're doing a better job than she is. If she was good, she would have talked you out of that stuff. But she let you talk her into it. Well, there you go.
Hey, supposedly it's really healthy for you.
That's
well, actually, I've retired from it because of my heart. But up until that time,
I
yeah,
would
it's good for
too.
you.
I would too. My heart, whatever part of my body you want to claim. They would all be screaming, "No, John, no." So I have a tendency to listen to my body nowadays. Anyway. No, some
Well,
people do that.
the coldest it ever was doing polar bear swimming was about 15 below.
Oi!
Yeah, shit.
No.
Well, you know, the Swedish, they come right out of a sauna and then go jump into that shit.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, no, we just stripped down on the beach.
Nope. I stay in the sauna. I might strip down, but it's going to be in the sauna, not outside. No, parts of me won't want to be out in the weather.
The only way I want to polar bear anymore is in a hot tub with a cup of hot coffee sitting on the side out there on the shelf.
Yeah.
And it can snow, it can rain, but
As long as my body's all the way into that hot tub, yeah. Sweat a little bit even. Whew. Get a little warm, isn't it? That's it. Buddy.
We had up in Washington, we had a hot tub, and we're sitting out there drinking coffee and stuff like that. And Wayne's got down in the water, so there's ice hanging. Back of my hair is frozen, but we're fine. We're not idiots. We enjoyed it.
Oh no, on occasions, you wouldn't want to live like that, would you? Every day?
Oh hell yes.
Oh hell yes.
We did it we did it every night.
Yeah, to stay warm somehow. Oh, we had a hot tub at a place that we stayed out here in Portland, and we stayed there at a length of time at one point that I got a job taking, took a little bit off the rent on the location. If I took care of the pool and hot tub, yeah, I can do that. Add a few chemicals. They show me where the pump is, clean that little filter out, no problem. Easy job. The hot tub was the most. Occasionally had to drain it. Anyway, long story short, I go up there one night to check it. There's some asshole in there with a freaking bottle of shampoo, and there is suds all over the freaking place. This hot tub is in the shape of Texas. I jumped his shit. I'm going to go to the owner of that. Good. You want me to give you his freaking phone number? Yeah, I got pissed off at it. Anyway.
I just don't get it, because that place had showers right there.
I know it.
Hot showers, too, I might add.
Jackass. He really pissed
He
me
is probably stoned on something other than pot.
Yeah, I think he's drunk on his butt is what he was. Well, I come down here. You're not welcome people here in Texas. No, it's not that. We can just recognize assholes when they cross the border. And he was one of them. Anyway, are we all set for tomorrow's big show?
Yep.
Who's going to be watching? I know I am.
I'm going to try to.
Huh?
Me too.
I think y'all are just going to have to give me the spark notes.
You're going to get the cliff notes.
Yeah, just tell me the good parts.
Yeah, no, I want to be right there the minute I get up.
If there's fists flying at some point, you'd let me know. I'll be up there in a heartbeat like we're watching football. But...
I believe it's going to be... the way they're going to conduct this thing now, it's not going to be... the congressmen are going to have their little time later on. They are going to have opening statements by Schiff and by Nunes. Those will each last about 45 minutes long. And then after that... Oh, wait, no, I don't know how long that works. After that... there is 45 minutes that will be questioned by a professional on each side, the Republican, Democrat. These are lawyers, staff, who will be asking the questions, which I think is a grand idea because it keeps the drama down from a lot of Republicans spouting off a bunch of shit for the camera for the act that they're fixing to put on for dear old Donnie. And it's going to cut down on that. These are going to be direct questions. After that, then congressmen will be allowed, I think it's a 5-minute question time each, and determined by Schiff. And so that's the way that's going to play out, which is, like I say, better, I think, don't you, than having each congressman get up there and put on an act,
They're still going to try.
Oh, yes. I have no doubt. They're still going to try. That's all they got. That's all they have anymore is to scream
that's
about.
That's why they moved the pedophile Jim Jordan over there.
Yeah. That's why, he's the attack dog. He's the one that's, got to come out there like he's the new Trey Gowdy, I call him. Because, remember we went through 3 years of Trey Gowdy screaming and bellyaching about Benghazi. And and then watched him laugh when he disclosed that, you know, the real. Have you seen Hillary's numbers? Don't tell me we ain't done good. That was the whole scheme, and that's what Republicans are. I mean, that's what the whole scheme with Benghazi was, to discredit Hillary Clinton, to give the advantage to, you know, the next Republican, which at that time they hadn't determined who that was going to be. They didn't know they was creating a suck zone.
You know, I really think they just had to come up with something. When they realized that, you know, that she come close to, you know, becoming the candidate over Barack, I think the Republicans got kind of scared, and it's like, okay, we got to start. You know, she's a real threat to us, and we got to start coming up with some nonsense to start. I mean, and my thing with the Benghazi thing is when Ambassador Stevens' own mother said that she didn't blame Hillary Clinton for none of that. It's like, you know, and it was kind of his own fault. You know, he could stay in the safe compound. He had to go stay in the nice compound where there's no security. But, you know, if you stay here where the security is, we might have a chance to protect you. But he didn't want to do that.
Well, the ones that were in Benghazi at the embassy, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, I wouldn't fault them at all. They were trying to, if my memory serves me right, they were trying to open up another area for an embassy, or to reopen an embassy type. But that whole thing that night had nothing to do with anything but one thing, in my opinion, and that was that movie that had just come out. You know, there were riots all across the Middle East on that day. I can't remember the name of the movie.
The 13 Hours? Is that the movie you're talking about?
It might be. I don't know. It's an anti-Muslim movie.
Oh, okay. Well,
I have to step out for 2 minutes.
Okay,
you got it.
Jen. I can't remember the name of the movie right now. But yeah, it came out and it caused riots in Egypt, in Syria. Out of that, there was a lot of chaos all over the place, and in Benghazi, it was amplified by an organized group that wanted to attack.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up right now.
Yeah, I can't remember that right now, but
you know, the biggest thing that comes to mind with Benghazi, the saddest thing is,
what's that?
It was the Republicans' fault anyway, because they denied extra funding for security.
That's right.
Yes, that's right.
That's true.
Thank you for remembering that. Yeah. It was. They tried to attack her for the lack of security, and it was indeed the Republicans who, under their, their same bullshit. If a Democrat tries to do something, squash it.
20 million.
It was a lot of money that they denied.
To beef up all.
Yeah,
beef up all ambassadors' compound worldwide.
Well, look at there. Another situation we have where Republicans are trying to extort money or divert money, and something terrible happens.
Well, it was Obama asked for it, and they couldn't pass anything that Obama wanted.
No, that's what Mitch was doing the same thing Denny's doing now. Anything the Democrats want, he sits on it. He squashes it. Delays it. Justice delayed is justice denied. It's that kind of. They're liars, cheats, and thieves. I keep repeating that. That's my mantra. That's what they are. They'll do it every time about any subject at all. They'll lie about it. They'll cheat any way they can to win. And they're thieves. They rob our treasury every time they're in office. Things go to shit. And everything's floating fine right now. But I think every one of us are sitting around thinking they're knowing the other foot's going to drop. At some point, the other foot's going to drop, baby. And the market's going to make an adjustment. And then what's he going to scream and yell about? Because the economy is the only thing he can say he lays claim to. But all of that he can thank Obama for.
He's also. Oh damn it! My internet's going down.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we was having a little weather.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. the veterans from the Philippines. They Obama made it so that their families could come over to help take care of them,
Right.
because they're in their 80s and their 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the old Smith, Gremlin Smith, he just reversed that. They're reversing it, and even the vets are being deported too.
And they're going to be deported too. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, some of them may be deported, along with their families that come over here to help take care of them.
We have an awful
And they
lot
were.
of veterans
I'm
that have
back.
been deported. Well, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
That we have a lot of them in Mexico, right across our border. The combat veterans that served, who just got the boot. Sorry, you're not a citizen. Get in line with everybody else over there. Don't worry. When you get up to the front, we'll give you a thumbs up for your service. Kiss my freaking ass.
A guy was just deported. He was 78 years old.
78
years old.
And you're
He
gonna
come to this country when he was 4.
Oh yeah. Let's hunt down the evil immigrant. It's all that stuff. I don't know. My mind right
They're
now.
American.
Yes. That's how come this deferred action on children, DACA. It's been lavished. That now that Republicans are screaming, "Oh, they're not kids anymore." Hell no, you've delayed it until they've grown up here, and this is all they have. They're evil. It comes from. That's what I was just thinking. It comes from people like Stephen Miller, that are in the Republican Party, that propagate that shit, that racism, that anti-immigrant scum that just think they're going to get better if we keep other people out of this country. That makes him better. It makes him, I don't know what.
They call themselves true Christians, remember?
Oh, I don't buy that shit either. I told you, liars, cheats, and thieves, baby. That's the first thing they lie about. Well, of course I'm a Christian. I'm a Republican. Conservative, too. Oh, kiss my ass. That's the first thought of my head when those words are spoken to me. I'm thinking that inside my head. Oh, shit, kiss my ass. Here we go.
All they are is snake oil salesmen.
Well, they all have this romantic idea of what the world used to be like. I guess the world they were in whenever America was great, as Donnie puts it. I don't know who grew up in that time. I didn't. I didn't grow up in no great time. America has always suffered, always. And just because somebody had a glorious little life in the suburbs of Mayberry, USD, or whatever, I'm happy for you. You had a wonderful life. You want to turn that kind of shit into some kind of racist hatred crap? Kiss my ass. You're a disgusting creature.
I think they're falling back on Father Knows Best and My 3 Sons, and
I watched them all. Wonderful home, very. But if you look, that at that time, the only people of color were maids or some lowly attendant or something.
Yep.
It was. We all know what it was. They didn't show two people in the same bed until who?
It was a movie.
Well, on TV, I'm saying, on network TV, I think it was the Brady Bunch, maybe. I think might have been the first one that they showed them in the same bed. My God.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, somebody who Googled. Travis is over there Googling it away first time. Because I think it was
He's got the fingers busy tonight.
Yeah, he's going to be over there Googling shit. See, I can't do it that quick. But yeah.
And then,
Mary Kay and Johnny. Mary Kay and Johnny was the first program to show a couple sharing a bed, and the first series to show a woman's pregnancy on television.
Oh my God, for shame.
Oh, huh.
And
What year
she
was that?
became pregnant in 1948.
1940. Oh, that early?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it was way later too, actually.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what
I
Mary
love
Kay
Lucy.
and Johnny
Lucy and
is.
Desi,
So.
they didn't share a bed. They was
Yeah,
like
I
two
thought
separate beds.
Lucille Ball was the first to show pregnancy on the air.
Me too.
I remember Ricky was singing to her in the. Well, he didn't know he was singing to her. He was walking around trying.
Besides, June Cleaver was a closeted lesbian. We talk about these good times, and they just don't know the truth.
Yeah, no, that's what that's what I was originally alluding to. There, it may have been good time in your life. It has never been a good time for everybody at the same time, and that's why we keep working for it. Back in the good old days, LGBTQ, baby, and behind the doors, hidden, for many reasons, intermarriage,
interracial marriage.
Yes,
no.
Yeah, no. If you had a thing for somebody of the opposite color of you, oh Lord, you had to hide that shit. Matter of fact, Mom and I wish I remembered movies and shit. We watched a movie about the first interracial couple that got married, and I think it was in either Mississippi or Alabama or something, or they got married in Virginia or something. And anyway, they moved back home to Mississippi, and they're not recognized, and they could not be together. And that case went to the Supreme Court, and that is the case that gave us the right for the racists to marry a constitution. You can't take that shit away. But it was that story that told the love affair between those two that would not stop, would not give up their love, no matter what man's law said, because it's not up to man's law, and it's not up to God's law either. If you believe that way, it's not up to Him who somebody loves. That's a personal thing, baby. And you stay the hell out of their bedroom. Well, I don't know what interest you have of it.
Right here, the first interracial kiss on U.S. television was broadcast in 1960 of Adventures in Paradise.
Adventures in Paradise.
Mm-hmm.
I vaguely remember.
I thought it was on Star Trek, but
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Oh, yes.
What happened to the show after that?
Well, sometimes you have to drag society forward. When you shock them on TV. Oh my God! Did you see that? That white man kissed that black woman right there.
Well,
turn around, look around.
We're starting to see. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like over the last couple 2 or 3 years or so, we're starting to see more like stuff. Commercials on TV where they're show interracial couples.
A lot of it
couples.
now. A lot of it
now. It's becoming common.
It's becoming trendy, if you ask me, because a lot of it, and that's great, because it reflects our society, our true society.
It's how we're living. Yeah. It's honest.
But at the same time, conservatives are out there screaming about, oh, look at this, that's sinful, and they're showing it on commercials.
I'd rather see a commercial for that or something like that than someone trying to sell me a thin Reese's Pieces cup. I don't. It's like the same thing with a Pop-Tart to go. A Pop-Tart was never hard to take anywhere. I mean, it's crazy. People just fall for.
Do you guys remember the movie Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? With
oh God, yes.
Yes, Sidney Poitier. Yes. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Portier. Yeah,
yep.
I remember him in Lilies of the Field.
The final speech by the young girl's father was very poignant, very well done. On Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. To Serve with Love was good.
Dad, I gotta ask you, did you really see this movie? Because you don't watch movies.
Yeah, no. Are you kidding? We're talking old movies.
Okay.
When we're talking old movies, here's my life when I was
black and white.
When I was growing up. My mother, she was a big TV watcher. She would sit up every night to watch Johnny Carson on TV. So I remember watching it all the way from, I think he came on the show after that other guy had left. Can't remember his name. But, it wasn't up until I got into my late teens and then I'm very selective on my movies.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was just asking because it's like, for as long as I've been on this earth, I knew you weren't a movie guy. That's why I appreciate the fact that my dad took me to see Star Wars Episode 1 at least 5 times in theaters when I was a young lad.
Yeah, so that's different. that's different. Now, sacrificing. No,
you really were.
It's like I got to commit to 2-3 hours of something, and I usually have shit to do. I got things to do.
Yeah.
But now if
John, my dad took me to see Dune.
Dune.
No.
I didn't see
And
the
that
movie.
was that's an 8-hour.
Oh.
That was a heavy movie.
I went to
Yeah.
pick up the book one time to read it and didn't finish. Didn't get it ended. But I remember that book, Dune.
You have to see it 3 or 4 times just to pick up on some of the nuances.
The movie in my childhood, I remember the most. Probably not only the movie, but the way we saw it. My dad took us out in Long Beach, California, to go see The Longest Day. Had a station wagon pulled up in the drive-in theater, backed that sucker right up. All those kids was right there in the back of that thing, looking right up at that big screen. And I thought that was the grandest movie I ever seen. When I had kids and they got older, look, you got to look this movie up. Longest Day.
No, you guys bought it on VHS, and I loved it back then. I don't know
and
if
then
I could
watched
stand
it
to
now,
watch
and
it.
I'm thinking, oh, that's dumb. Look at that. Why
I
did they
saw
do
it at
that
the
shit?
theater in Chicago.
Oh yeah, it was. I love that. Go ahead, Jen.
My daddy took us, my brother and I, to go see that live in the theater too.
Longest Day,
really?
Yeah, it was a big movie
Oh yeah,
back then.
yeah. It scared the fuck out of me. It was a real great movie.
Yeah.
Now, what was that movie about? Because I know I've heard of it. I've not seen it.
The Longest Day, D-Day, June 6th,
Okay, all right.
1944.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm
Red
mistaken.
Buttons, John Wayne, everybody who was anybody was in that flick.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking of a totally different movie, but I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, dedicate like 3.5 hours.
Where are the ships?
Yeah.
Where are the ships?
I remember the part with the clicker. Remember
No. It was. You remember those?
Hypocrisy.
Remember those ships that they said the Allies don't have?
Yes.
They had them.
They have them.
I remember that shit.
Shit.
Do any of you remember the Danny Kaye and the Five Pennies?
Nope.
Danny Kaye played Red Button in the Five Pennies.
I don't recall that movie. I mean, I've heard of it, but I didn't see it.
It's the life story of Red Button.
Oh.
I don't know who Red Button is.
Well, now Hank, we're ashamed you don't know who Red Buttons is, but no. How are you doing, Hank? I heard you've been under the weather.
I'm fine. The Netherlands is fine.
I'm good. We're glad to hear that. You're in better shape than we are, I think, buddy. So,
yeah, probably. But we've got our own problems at the moment. We have like this anti blackface, Black Pete, Sinterklaas activity protest always, and now neo-Nazis have tried to get this blackface tradition to be theirs, which is ridiculous. But basically, there are a lot of people who think Black Pete is a racist icon, and they want him gone from this children's festivity they call Sinterklaas, on which your Santa Claus is based. So now these neo-Nazis are all wearing black faces, trying to promote this so-called tradition. Yeah, it's really ridiculous.
Can they be then officially called the N-word?
No, we don't really have the N-word. I mean, we say in European it's called neger, but it's not like your N-word. It has a different connotation, I think, but it's still racist. But most of the people here in the Netherlands do not distinguish in color. But these Nazis
think so. Yeah, the Netherlands.
No, you're either from Suriname, or you're from the Antilles, or you're from China. But nobody really says you're yellow or you're black or whatever. Color doesn't really matter here.
It's more of an.
But for racists, it does, of course.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. As well it should be.
Yeah.
Color should never come in.
But yeah, it's. Can you tell me when the public hearings are going to start?
Tomorrow, Hank. Tomorrow, buddy.
Oh, cool.
Yep. Tomorrow.
I want to see them live.
I do too. I'm looking forward to this stuff, man.
Get your popcorn.
Yeah. And I'm waiting for the first one. Bill Taylor's going to be the first one up, and I'm glad too.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and hit a home run right out the gate. Because this guy, he's the one that he connects the dots.
Yeah.
One of his quotes in his testimony, he said it was a concerted effort to force Ukraine into a quid pro quo military aid in a presidential meeting for a public announcement that included the words investigation, Clinton, and Biden. Those three words, get them into a speech, get it out on NBC, CBS, all over the news. That's what he wanted. That's what Donnie wanted. And for that, he was withholding all the military aid that the Ukraine needed at that time on the front with Russia. Putin trying to run it. And I swear, Donnie's ready to hand Ukraine right over to Russia. You know, he thinks nothing about the Crimea. He wants to forget all that. Oh, it's old news. Don't worry about it. They got it. Let him have it.
It's not interesting to him.
No, he has no interest in it. He has more interest in kissing Putin's ass, I think. But yeah, Bill Taylor, he's got plenty to say. And you know,
of course, the annexation of the Crimea is, of course, not that well liked. But if you look at it historically, the Crimea is Russian.
Yeah, the whole Ukraine was
not
part
saying
of
that the way
yeah.
they took it is legal at all.
Yeah, not
or
acceptable
good at all. But it's not Ukrainian, basically.
Yeah. That's how come Russia was kicked out of the G8, and the G8 became the G7 because of that.
But then again, everything from Texas west and north to top of California used to be Mexico. So.
Yes. Well, yes, you know, borders change, but in the modern world, in the agreements that we have, in trying to build a civilized world where nations don't attack and cross borders, that's what we try to promote. Not that the U.S. has ever been an angel in that area.
I was
either.
About to say,
oh
we're
no,
the worst.
baby, we've started enough shit on our own in history, you know. But
of course, you would think that a nation that we liberated from oppressors, invaders, and oppressors would have a special connection to us and treat us better, such as Kuwait, who of course we liberated from Saddam. Yep.
Yeah.
Back in '91, but then they're holding an American woman prisoner because she's a Christian.
Because she's a Christian. There's only two places in the world religion comes into politics, baby. The Middle East and here. It's the only two places in the world where religion is so prominent in politics.
Well, there is, of course, today, I think today it was made known that Mr. Bolton confirmed that the Russians have compromised on Trump. He basically confirmed that there was more than one video.
Is it the PP tape?
The PP tape?
Come on, PP tape.
Yeah, I read it. I think the Hill did an article on it. But the problem with the traitor in the White House, of course, is also that today became known that he actually refused the Navy to go on patrol in the what was it, in the Black Sea or?
I think I'm not.
Yeah,
familiar. I'm not familiar. I'm not going to say I do.
So this traitor needs to go, basically.
Yeah.
And as fast as you can get him out, because it's 1 minute to 12 now. You're almost in a dictatorship. It won't take long. If you lose this impeachment hearing, or the Senate doesn't impeach him, you're in big trouble.
If the Senate doesn't, because I have no doubt that we're going to impeach him through the House. That's almost a gimme. We have the votes in the House to do it, but we have to do it the right way, and I would hope in a bipartisan way when it comes down to the articles of impeachment, the things that you can prove, actual fact, this happened, blah, blah, blah. If the Republicans turn their back on the rule of law that they so worship all their political careers, standing on the Constitution and all that shit, if they deny this, what does that say to them? You know, and what does it say to us? And that's what more important. It's what it says to us, that they will stand there and defend this man from this shit, because the testimony itself is showing. Yes, it was extortion. It was bribery. Give me a speech where you say the words, we're having a criminal investigations against Clinton and Biden, and I'll give you the weapons to save your people. That's what.
And that's the main point. But then there are the secondary points. The lady he paid off, the meeting in the towers where he met with the Russians. Those are things that can be looked at too.
Yes, the whole Mueller investigation. Everything can be looked at.
Mueller,
when you take a look at the, isn't that what they always say? Well, you have to look at the culmination of all the evidence in front of you. Well, all right, if you really want to go that way, let's drag it all the way up where they have him in front of the bus saying, oh, I just grab him by the pussy, that kind of shit. And just play it all through the Russian investigation, all the shit they did, everything. It sets up a,
What was that?
I believe it was an earthquake. And, oh my God! Thank goodness the camels okay.
There you go.
Son of a bitch.
This is why we need to get you a more sturdier desk.
Yeah. Well, I get carried away.
Yes, you
That's
do.
all right. Pipe's fine. Everything's fine.
There you go.
No kicking.
No kicking.
Don't kick the desk.
But we do. We're gonna watch the Republican Party. Now the sad thing is this: it's if we do not get a conviction in the Senate, the only thing we can do about that is point out the traitorous acts of the Republicans for not holding him to his feet to the fire. But they will use that in their campaign ads. They will go nuts with, look at here, I've been proven innocent. It's all a witch hunt. It's always been a hoax and all that kind of bullshit. And that will sway a certain amount of people. So even if we lose, we still have to fight hard to get his ass out in 2020. Nobody can be sitting on their laurels and going, oh, yeah, well, I think we got it now. No, none of that's going to work. I am concerned about the Republicans in there, but I've held fast to the whole time of saying that I believe it'll turn if you force the facts in front of the Republicans and force them to defend an asshole who obviously has abusive office, has used his office as a cash machine. He's lied. He has disgraced this country. And I want to see which Republicans up there are going to scream and holler and put on a show for him.
Benghazi his ass.
That's exactly, you keep the facts in front of the people. But they have to be facts. That's how come Benghazi didn't work, is because it was in front of the people. And the people could see. That's bullshit.
And they didn't have facts.
It was bullshit.
They didn't have the facts.
They wanted to make the impression that it was Hillary Clinton herself that was watching it on TV while eating popcorn. Could have had some people right off the coast come in and save him, but she decided not to because it was fun to watch on TV. So that's the kind of bullshit theories that they were pushing, that they knew it and didn't do anything. Fuck you. It's just disgraceful the way the Republicans will use their integrity and every decent thread in their body and just throw it out the freaking window over bullshit claims just for...
They don't have any integrity.
They don't have any integrity. You're right, Keith. They don't. They don't have any integrity, any morals anymore. Nothing. Nothing that I see anymore. No patriotism. You're not standing up for your country. You're standing up for him. Patriotism is not supporting your president. It's supporting your country. And that's what Bill Taylor's going to do. That's what George Kent's going to do. And that's what Maria Yovanovitch is going to do tomorrow. They're going to stand up for their country. Every one of these people were threatened with going and doing their testimony. The White House did not want any of them to. I seen where Mick Mulvaney pulled out of trying to get in the lawsuit about keeping his ass out from being subpoenaed. During the Clinton administration, Chief of Staff was deposed. He was subpoenaed. The president was subpoenaed. He put a deposition on tape. Not this administration, baby. That would be horrible to subject our president. Are you shitting me?
I wish McCain was still around.
I do too. you know, at least he could slap old Lindsey Graham
And
around
Cummings.
a little bit.
And Cummings.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
Cummings.
Yeah. Al Franken, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I wish he was still around.
Yeah.
You know, he resigned. Hi, Donna Bonacosi. I see you up there, baby. I just wanted to say hello.
But I'm thinking maybe Franken might have a chance to do something again. I don't think we're totally not going to ever.
Hell, if Jeff Sessions can come back, or Roy Moore is thinking about trying to. The pedophile guy is Al Franken jump back in, baby. We need his voice. People like him, who had a good voice, who had a good argument, and made it well. And
he's coming back here in Minneapolis, St. Paul area. He's making his voice known a little bit more and more and more.
Good.
Yeah, I seen where Beto O'Rourke made a speech after he had already dropped out of the race and encouraging people to get behind whoever they want. But in the final push here, we go with who is nominated. Every stinking one of us. We go with who is nominated.
Beto has permanently cut his throat for any office in Texas since he made that comment about AR-15s.
That's the comment that
Can he run for anything?
Oh, he can run all at once. But that's the line that is going to be used against him any time that he runs anywhere. So he, you know, for a party like the Democratic Party, a lot of people will be put off by that. Oh, that's not a winning issue. We will not be able to win with that. No matter being the truth, no matter it being what we should do, you know, because if not, then Sandy Hook, sure. That was you know, acceptable.
And actually, that tells me that he's not a very bright politician to have been so stupid as to come out and say that.
Well, he speaks from his heart.
Political suicide.
And that's what motivated me so much towards Beto was his impassioned speech when he spoke. You knew he was speaking from his heart. You knew he wanted this for everybody. You knew
but the reality of politics is that if you want to win, if you want to have power, if you want to change it, you have to play the game.
Well,
it's unfortunate, but it's true.
The logic. That is the logic, but it's not our vision of what America should be. You know, I grew up with Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and that's what I envision good government to be, a local guy that gets pissed off, who goes to Congress and raises and stomps his foot and say you must do this, and speaks from his heart on matters of values and in our country. For all.
But is that any more realistic than Leave It to Beaver?
You know.
Today's world,
yeah. I was thinking, you know, do we have somebody who speaks? You know, the one that inspired me the most was John Kennedy. I loved the way the man spoke. You know, he inspired a nation to move forward on all sorts of fronts. Was he perfect? No. The Bay of Pigs, Jesus, that was a nightmare. It was just terrible. But he rose above it. And when challenged in Cuba, he held tight against Russia. And because of being at the age I was, you know, I was about 10 years old here. You know, this is a big event in my life. This is like, wow, we're having nuclear drills at school, duck and cover kind of crap. You know, missiles. Yeah, it was a real thing. But now we've evolved from that scenario to the attack is going to be on your computer. It's going to be in your head. It's going to be fake stories from somewhere, some made-up bullshit that's going to be find out. Or some asshole is going to get some country like Ukraine to come up with an imaginary investigation on a party for political gain in our system. You know,
and Fox News will broadcast
it. You bet. They'll encourage it. Are you shitting me? Fox News is just propaganda TV for the Trump administration. Yeah, they're you know.
You had it right first time.
Yes. They sell out to Russia. In my book, Fox News is. They're flag waving, eagle flying, everything that they do over there to pump the patriotic. It's all a bunch of bullshit. They're all in it for the dollars, baby. You know, I understand. Sean Hannity's got a hunk of HUD buildings.
I was fixing to say.
He's making tons of money.
Remember who Cohen's other client was?
Yep.
Sean Hannity.
Sean Hannity, that's right. That same guy, Michael Cohen. You know, it's oh man, it's a shit show. But everything that you know, this is going to be a culmination of everything. Because of it, you know, we got 1 year to election. 1 year. This is it. We got him on everything ever since he came into freaking office. This is it. The Democrats either put the nail in the coffin on this shit, or we're going to have his ass again if we don't come together. I can't, no. The reason I'm saying this because we had that conversation here in the house the other day. Well, what would you do if he won? Well, we were talking about, Canada, it's really cold up there. It is really cold up there. So we were discussing Costa Rica, Belize,
I'd go to Canada.
Yeah.
I would go to Canada.
I'd go to Canada.
I'd go to Canada if you promised me that all winter, which is like 9 or 10 months out of the year.
Well, there was a few people that did go to Canada when he got elected. I remember seeing, I think it was on 60 Minutes where I seen the story about they did it on a couple and a few other people that they had their plan made. If he got elected, they were, and that's what they did.
Do not go through the border crossing, go 20 feet down and cross over that way.
Yeah, they're not like here. They're not going to put you in cages.
No, they're going to give you paperwork to go to court to prove why you're going to be here.
Yeah, give you a helping hand, find you a place to stay, give you,
Really quick, I just got to add here really quick to the food porn thing.
Food porn?
The dog started barking. I went to go see what was going on. It was just Rose getting laundry. Tyler was sitting there eating those cookies. I hadn't tried those H-E-B cookies y'all bought. And, man, those are cheaper than Oreos, and I think they taste way better than Oreos.
Oh, you mean the cheap cookies?
Yeah.
I always buy cheap cookies.
Yeah. No, those are good.
I'm a cheapskate.
So, I was late coming back in here because me and Tyler just started snacking on cookies, and I was like, I got to get back in here.
Just left me hanging.
Well, do you want some?
Are you kidding? I'm on air.
Yeah, well.
Cookies all up in my
your
teeth
beard.
Yeah,
well, I just had to offer. I'm just saying.
Probably.
Like having crisps in a cinema.
There you go. There you go.
Oh,
Travis, did you see The Mandalorian?
I knew that was going to come up. Either I was going to ask it to you or you were going to ask it to me. I haven't sat down and watched it yet, but I did start my Disney Plus trial today, so I am going to be watching it. Was it good?
Oh, it's epic. It's epic. It's only 40 minutes, but it's great. I'm not going to spoil anything for you. I do not have Disney Plus. I'm a pirate.
Me hearty.
What is this now?
So Disney Plus came out today, which is like Disney Netflix, and one of the first original series they did is a Star Wars miniseries spinoff.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, so it just came out today. So the first episode dropped, and we haven't watched it yet, but we will. We will. Me and Rose, we're probably gonna either watch it tonight or tomorrow.
Geeks, I love them.
You have to watch it before there are a lot of spoilers online, so do not look at the internet, Facebook, or whatever.
I'm having to avoid spoilers on video games that I haven't even played yet that I'm dying to play. Yeah. So me and my internet life have been little to none as of late. So, yep.
Good.
Hey, I had a question for John.
No. I'm sorry, we're not taking questions anymore.
Oh, I was just wondering how the Cowboys did
I'm going to make an exception
weekend.
just because it's you, Jen. Go ahead.
I was just wondering how the Cowboys did this weekend.
Not too.
How did they? I haven't watched anything. Were they good?
Ooh.
We don't want to talk about it.
Oh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Never mind.
Thank you. Somebody go get my fucking blood pressure pill.
Somebody give me a box of Kleenex.
The Packers won.
Yes, they did.
Packers
Yes, they
won?
did.
Okay.
The Packers won.
Good now.
I'm not a hateful person like some people. They just, I'm happy when your team wins. Fuck off. No,
I
baby.
love you too, John.
I know you do, baby. I love you back. No, my Cowboys didn't do for shit. But I'm quite used to it. I mean, I hate to say it. It's like, who can snatch victory out of the, Oh man, I'm telling you.
They need management change, yo.
I don't think their coach will be around too much longer.
Yeah, it's time. We're not doing that great. It's got to be something. So start experimenting. Get rid of somebody. I don't think it's on the field. It's off on the sidelines. That's where you got to make the change.
It's all about the coaching.
It is.
Our Florida State just fired their head coach a couple weeks ago, and so we're currently looking for a head coach now, and it's everybody around town is just like they're so used to not having a Bobby Bowden or Jeff Fisher. They don't know what to do, and there's not a good football coach at the university, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
To be fair though, the Northern Division is a pretty strong division this year. In fact, I heard that this weekend the Vikings pulled out some last-minute win over somebody. I forgot.
It's not rugby.
Hello, John. Hello.
Well, it's definitely not rugby.
I'm not talking football.
Vikings, Cowboys. Hello.
Oh, is that the Cowboys?
So, did y'all hear about Lev Parnas and Igor Furman?
I don't know. I think we can talk some rugby here. I heard that's a brutal ass sport.
That is a brutal ass sport.
There is a nice thing.
And they don't wear
being a
pads for that
moderator
shit.
at
They're
times.
trying to kill each other over there without helmets, without pads or nothing hardly.
Sounds like what football should be.
Jesus.
That's like I said the other night. I'm a I like football, because I am American, but I am more of a soccer fan. I follow the British Premier League soccer. I follow a lot of soccer. I mean, I played soccer in school, and
I have
I've
to
always
admit,
been a soccer fan.
The last time I sat down to watch a game, I was really interested in it. Watched it for I was good. Shoot, half hour
Yeah,
or so.
I think soccer in Europe is the main game.
Right.
And then you have rugby, baseball is it is done, but it's hardly
now rugby,
as big as it is in the
explain
States.
that to
American
me now.
Football, nobody really is interested in American football. If you do something like that, you do rugby or Australian football, which is even worse than rugby.
Well, I can watch I can watch two whole soccer matches in the time it takes to play one football game. So it's like.
Oh yeah, Marshall always tells
No
me.
timeouts, no commercials.
How much time is left in the game?
Either.
It's that 3 minutes and 12 seconds, baby. Oh, that'll be another
Well,
3 hours.
in a way, I think I don't know why, but in the States, with sports like baseball and basketball and American football, some of the circus has entered the game. Same with politics, basically. And in Europe, we have less of that.
Yeah, yep.
We do have commercials, but we don't have these breaks, these silly music stuff, singing of national anthems by famous singers or stuff like that. We don't have that.
And soccer is a low-scoring game. It is. That's just the way it is. It's the nature of the beast. But it really, if you study the sport and get into it, it's fun. Like I say, the clock don't stop. There's no commercials, and I'd rather watch something without the commercials and all the timeouts, and it just flows. It's a flowing game.
Yeah, that sounds better in a better flow. But Hank, really quick, I just thought of something. Yeah, we might have all that, but we get really cool flyovers, yo.
Yo, man.
Oh yeah,
we got fighter jets.
We get really good flyovers.
We got big flyovers.
yeah. We don't have that because in we do not often have that because in Europe military flyovers are only used during either air shows or commemorations of World War II. We don't have the need to have the military engaged in our sports games or patriotic display of look at our power. This is not necessary here. I mean, we've never been raised that way.
To be fair, we don't do it on parades and stuff like that. We don't have a big military parade or anything. That's one of the few things.
I think if you would do a flyover over a soccer match, there will be a lot of people who love fighter jets who like it. But the main criticism would be it's too militaristic.
Yeah, well, it's an American thing, I guess.
Yeah,
and I can't say that I hate it. I don't. Yeah.
Well, to be fair about it, it really
Good
is.
night, Donna Bonacosi. I just want to throw that out. She's going out. I've seen her.
What's that, Jen?
It really has only been a thing in like the last 20 years where the military has been featured so prominently in in football beginnings and stuff. They used to have the occasional flyover for like the big game, the Super Bowl or something like that.
Yeah.
But to start happening with almost every damn game that's on TV.
Yeah, I think
really only started
it
since the first
after
Gulf War.
9/11. This started this behavior, or this emphasis on military flags, hand on your heart, national anthems. It's all started after 9/11 because 9/11 was very traumatic. I think for the entire United States.
Do you live in
It was
the
about
United
as traumatic as Pearl Harbor, and because this was an elusive enemy, you could not really do anything about. America started to begin wars all over the world, and we're now in the aftermath of this.
Yeah.
Well, that's also part of why Trump won.
Well, I used to,
hold on, go ahead, Jen.
I was just wondering if he lives in the United States.
No.
No, I live in Europe.
Okay, you're right. It definitely has accelerated since 9/11, but it really started back in the 90s. As far as it being something that was gone after the patriotism because of the Gulf War and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But having an American flag in way too many places and singing the anthem and making the Pledge of Allegiance has always been an American thing. I was raised in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And we were taught that if somebody was raising or lowering a flag in front of a building, for example, you stopped and put your hand on your heart and said the Pledge of Allegiance in your head. You know, it was
saluted.
It was almost
that's completely that's funny because that is completely alien to Europeans.
Yes, it is.
Because I think, and I've talked about this before with John. I think it is especially alien for us because we lived through the occupation by the Germans, who had flag worship, saluting, militarism, and stuff like that.
Yes.
And, I think in Europe, we see it differently. It's not that it's bad, but we don't like it, basically.
No, I belonged to a group one time, and that discussion was had because I made a post one time of my flag. I fly my flag because a lot of Democrats after the election decided to take down the flag and wouldn't fly it anymore, or fly it upside down.
Wrong being proud of it.
And no, and
upside down.
Upside down is fine with me too, but I fly mine upright every day. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of who I am, and I serve that flag. But I got into that discussion, and that is like Hank said, it's not a common thread across Europe and across the world. Except in authoritarian regions like China or something. It's a sign of nationalism that other countries don't show, don't agree with. A lot of people don't even agree with having flags at all. That is the discussion in other countries. Here in the United States, patriotism is the thing that dives in my soul. The way I look at it is the birth of our country and the values in the way that this country, well, at one time, was fighting for equality for all, for inclusion of everybody, the human rights, trying to reach that utopia idea of a place where everybody is welcome. And before I get carried away, Diana Mallory just donated $10 through Super Chat and says, freeze Twitter assets, impeach in exile. I like the exile part of this. Kick his
exile
ass.
Was good, yeah.
Yes, I don't think
Thank you, Diana.
Thank you, Diana. Appreciate that very much. It goes into the keep
time.
the internet on
Bury
fun.
him in the Russian flag.
Hey,
yeah, really.
I've flown the American flag on my classic 88 Lincoln Town Car, and I put the flag on upside down.
It lets them know what you think. It is a statement.
That we are still bonded, but we're in trouble.
Yes.
And that's why I did that.
You fly it upside down. It is a sign of distress. You are under attack. And indeed we are. I believe that our whole democracy, our republic itself, is under the attack by Trumpism. If we allow, if this impeachment If our country cannot stand up and say that a president cannot ask a foreign country to interfere in our elections, what the fuck am I supposed to think my elections are fair, honest, and I'm counting all that, or I gotta depend on some foreign country, to come up with some
votes.
Yeah, to come up with some.
Or Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, to manipulate who? That's how come this is dependent upon us as a country, as citizens. We are charged with the responsibility to be informed. When we vote, we should be informed about what we're voting on, who we're voting on, and if you're detoured by fake stories, if you see a story somewhere and you go, oh, look at this just proves it. Look at they kicked the puppies in the head. Check them stories out.
Just one thing about this patriotism. I don't know.
What's that, Hank?
You can have good patriotism and being proud of your country and being proud of your flag.
Yes.
That's all nice and well.
Yes.
But as soon as you start getting really angry with people who do not respect your flag or do not salute your flag or kneel during a baseball game or a football game, as soon as you start forcing these people to salute your flag or whatever, then you're going into dangerous territory. Then you get in the states that we in Europe have. Not I, but my grandmother and granddad experienced during the Nazi rule, and that is why we in Europe do not like this form of patriotism. Basically,
I think and this is just my point of view. The way I look at it, and I can try to sum this up in a very simple term, because I kind of agree that I think a little bit of patriotism is a very healthy thing, but the way that I think what makes me more uncomfortable is how some people use patriotism as more of let's say a fashion sense. It's kind of like wearing a band's t-shirt but not knowing what the band is or who they are.
Yeah.
So
it's a bumper sticker.
It's a bumper sticker, and it's a catchphrase, and especially when you you take it to the extremes of like your stereotypical redneck militia, thinking they're being true patriots with their militias and all that other shit, and they're flying the American flag, and it's the furthest thing from. We know people who act exactly like that, but never served a day in their life. So,
well, to me,
I think as a person of color, I think of Martin Luther King. We reached the mountaintop together, and that's what the American flag means.
Yeah. It's not something that we have achieved. It is something we strive to achieve.
Yep.
And we have to work on that every day. No matter what it is. Down here in Texas, it's ridiculous. The LGBTQ, especially transgender. There's been more murders down here in Texas of transgenders than anywhere else in the country. That's a disgusting
really
thought. That it bothers me. It's shit. That's how come I say we're not there yet. I don't know if we won't be there in my lifetime, and we probably won't be there in my kids' lifetime or their grandkids' lifetime, because we're always going to have that section of our population that refuses to progress.
And again, it's kind of like my stance on religion. If you use it and what I'm applying this to is patriotism, is if you use it as a crutch to be a good person, you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
So
if you don't live it, then it's bullshit.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, they don't live it. It's like the Kaepernick thing. These people got outraged. Oh, look, he's kneeling. He is kneeling. How dare he? We should throw him out of the country, throw him out of the football, get him out of here, and all this bullshit. Did you not read the Constitution at all? You want to scream and holler about patriotism and love and all this? And you refuse to read the document that gives him that right to do that, and you should fight for his right to do that.
You should tell them that if they also kneel in church that they are disrespecting Jesus.
Yeah, it's like, I'm
How
telling
can
you.
they
Have
understand
you
the
seen
Constitution?
the
They don't
video?
understand the Bible.
They don't.
Yeah, they don't.
They use both of them as a bumper sticker. As really,
Well, that-
really,
that-
we support the troops, and I'm a Christian. Two things that I take with a grain of salt.
Well, that's really what has been the problem that has been developing since the 50s. Then, when the Congress first decided to respond to the Red Scare, as in communism,
Yes.
by putting in God, we trust, and under God in the Pledge of Allegiance, the whole fervor started then. And these days,
that
these
bothers
days
me.
there's an equation of patriotism to Christianity.
Yeah.
That if you're not patriotic, you're anti-God or anti.
Yes, that was back in the McCarthy
anti-religion.
era. They used that.
1948 on the money, 1953 in the I Pledge Allegiance.
I knew it on the Pledge of Allegiance because it was the year I was born. That's the only reason I really remember what year it was. But that's true. It used to not be that thing, but during the McCarthy era, you had to prove to the world, everybody, that you're a Christian, that you believe in God. Because if you don't, which I don't, well, you're just going to die, go to hell, or you're going to suffer the slings and arrows of a million miseries. I don't know. Some fantasy thing they cook up in their head that I'm going to suffer. And that gets them off. That bothers me. If your religion is all about, dreaming about how I'm going to boil in a sea of lava, you're a sick individual. You're just, you need to see a doctor, not a preacher.
Wasn't he sleeping with boys?
Which one? You're going to have to be specific there. That covers a whole long list of people, baby.
Well, I just want to, because I'm not sure, but I know the thing has been, they want to bring prayer back into school. And I know there's people on here that are a little older than me, but when was the last time prayer was in school? Because I went to school, I went to school, and I'm 45. I went to school in the sticks.
I have an answer for you.
And we never prayed. We said the Pledge of Allegiance, but that was it. We never. So I've always been curious. When was the last time prayer was actually in school?
SC, I've got one for you.
Okay.
Okay. Now, prayer went out of school. There in the southern states, they had a prayer at the beginning of class. Okay, that kind of went bye-bye in the early 70s, late 60s to early 70s.
Okay. I would think.
But normally, prayer has always been led in school, but it has been led by the kids before school, during lunch hour, or after school. The only thing it can't be done is led by the school itself or by a teacher. But the kids, they go ahead and have they have prayer meetings before school here in Searcy. Down here in South, that there is prayer in school being led by the children, not by the school.
If a group of students were to gather out there by the side, wherever they gather at, wherever, and wanted to have a pray before going to class or something, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a lot of any problem with a lot of the traditions that goes along with Christianity. What I have a problem with is if you start teaching that in the classroom. No, back up the bus, because you can't teach science and religion in a school and expect both of them to be believed, because they clash, baby. They clash big time.
Understand.
And our education system has to be based on facts. If you want your child to learn theology, go to a Christian college or something.
If they're going
that's fine.
If they're going to emulate Kent Hovind, who was, by the way, a tax evading felon who was convicted and spent years in prison, that evolution is not real, and that creationism is the truth, then they better start teaching the rest of them about Christianity, where God approves of slavery, where God approves of rape, where God approves of the murder of children,
stoning your wife,
and all the other
selling
stuff.
your kid. Yeah, it's all in there. You betcha.
But also, I think if you're going to teach one religion in school, you need to teach them all. So
amen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All four.
Yeah, let's be fair about this now.
I mean, look, let's just be, again, it's a, again, I have no problem with religious practice. I have a problem with how people treat people. And that's always going to be my biggest biggest pet peeve. But that being said, I think anybody who's self-respecting and loves people who do practice religion, I do think everybody could hopefully agree that, church, should be separated from state.
Yeah,
it
true.
should not be, because everything should be in our government followed by law and not by religion.
Separation of church and state is essential for the free and
No.
democratic society. That's
Yeah.
that's what Thomas Jefferson, I think, said.
Well,
And
That's
I'm
how
right
I
there
will-
with Travis. That's
as
how I
long
feel.
as I,
Yeah.
as long as I cannot offer a cow to Jupiter on my market square,
That's right.
there is no freedom of
That's
religion.
right. That's right. That's true, Hank. Not all religions, just my religion is the only true
All
religion.
religions are
Yeah, and
Out
yeah.
of our government of the United
Yeah, yeah.
States of America.
We were founded on the freedom of religion, and that's how come we
All
say
religions.
you can have, and there are 42,000 religions in this world. Pick one. Pick whatever God you want. You're a magic man in the sky. I see what I think it was. I can't remember what one of our Facebook friends put a picture up, and it was the church of the huge toad. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
did somebody see that? It's the church of the huge toad. And because really, if you go looking, there are churches all over the freaking place with every kind of name you could think of. You know why? Because if they're a religion, they don't pay taxes, baby.
Yep.
That's where the money is.
Did
That's
you
where the money
have the funny
and
story
some of
in
these big
Amsterdam,
time ones like Christianity, the Catholic Church, they've all learned that
We had
it's
we
about
had a
the money, baby.
But to be fair, not all organizations like that are bad. Like
we had a
no,
sex.
you
We had a,
no.
hang on. We had a sex club in Amsterdam.
How
in the
shocking.
70s, 80s, and 90s, and they were called the Church of Satan,
Yeah.
and they tried to become an official religion so they could avoid paying taxes.
Well, I would argue the fact that they are indeed a Church of Satan, if they are indeed that they have every right to. Because if you say there's a God, then you in your own story, you say there's a certain. So if you have the Church of God, you have Church of Satan, you have to be equal about that shit.
well,
whatever.
no, you
Yeah,
you can
believe
learn
one, you believe
If
another.
you're
It's all
arguing the
about
point.
money.
you can learn
Yeah.
a lot about the Church of Satanism on Twitter because it's actually a
Bravo.
real organization,
Yeah.
and they're
I
more
They're the
than
ones
totally
I think
believe
that
it.
put up that billboard that said, "In the Church of Satan, we don't beat our kids," and it was reference to a
think
child
money-
abuse case
money
that was
is the
going
real
on
God.
in the town that billboard was put in.
Yep.
There was a
Money
big
is
child
the
abuse
real
case
God.
that was a member of the church, and in this same little town, they put up a big billboard right in the middle of town. It's their freedom of speech rights. It said, "In the Church of Satan, we do not beat our children."
Oh, hang
Yeah.
on, guys.
Look at that.
About Satan, wasn't there a satanic ritual done in one of the American, I think, town halls or state governments by someone several years ago who was voted in? There's a video online of it somewhere, and it's like a senate from a state, not Texas, but some state in the U.S. And they had like a satanic ritual in the beginning of the year, of the session of the year. I'll look it up and I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, Travis, you
It
looking
ha-
that up?
You'd have to find it because
I'll have to look
I
for
doubt
it.
that would
It's
happen.
I
hilarious.
know that there was one House Senate that started off last year with blessings from a Wiccan group.
Oh, that might have been it. Yeah.
Is that right?
hmm
It makes as much.
Oh,
Wicked makes as
Counting
much
and,
sense to me as the rest of the story.
I think the evangelicals
There are
left
some
because they couldn't take
that
it.
I understand more. Oh Lord, now I can't think of one. There was one that it was all about the environment, the outdoors, Mother Nature, and all that stuff.
Pagan.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pagan.
Yep.
Not a bad thought.
Pagan, Wicca. We're all kind of
I
lumped
understand a
together.
tree. I could look at a tree and imagine the evolution. I have 2 kapok. I've mentioned this before, on my property. If you don't know what a kapok tree is, go look it up. It is a tree that has. I'm not talking about little bitty thorns. I'm talking about daggers that stick out all the way around the trunk of this tree. If you have kids, you don't want this tree anywhere near kids. It could hurt somebody. It's evolution. That's evolution to me. You think that plant grew that way because it just, no. Just keep that damn dinosaur from reaching down there and grabbing it.
Wasn't K-pop fluff also used in rescue vests?
Oh Lord, I don't know.
We have a thing here called a K-pop vest, but it's like a rescue vest for when you're on a boat.
Huh. No.
It might be the same tree. I don't know.
It might be. It's got big old daggers sticking out everywhere. I ought to take a picture of that thing during the day and then post it up here on the chat some night for everybody to see. It's a wicked tree. A friend of ours actually planted both of them on the property here, and because she had one in Corpus, and I think they had to do away with the tree because it was in a public area on a sidewalk. It's like.
But that's of course
a dangerous place.
That's nature, and people worshiping nature, in my view, are far better than people worshiping a imaginary friend in the sky.
Yeah, but you would be amazed.
Or Trump,
really? Yeah.
May I say something?
Sure, Jen.
At this point, we've been doing a lot of bashing, and we're not going to put value, good or bad, on that. But there are a lot of people who are in the chat who are Christians.
Yes.
Thank you, Jen.
And I want to say for myself that I respect you guys and your religion very much. I don't agree with you on it at all, and I never will. But I absolutely support you in having that religion and the goodness it brings to you, your family, and your culture.
If it makes you a better person, and you treat other people
anywhere near my government.
I respect Christians when they hold true to the teaching of the Rabbi Jesus of Nazareth, who was crucified by the Romans because he, according to them or according to the Sanhedrin, impersonated a king, which he basically didn't. But that was what they made the Romans believe. But yeah, if you keep to his teachings, and his teachings are very, very good on, for instance, hypocrisy inside churches or temples. Then I will respect you. But if you are one of those, in my view, fake Christians who does not turn the other cheek or walks past a beggar and does not give him money or does not invite him in his home or does not invite refugees, sorry, then I can't respect you. So a true Christian or a Christian who actually has studied the Bible or the New Testament and the teachings of this man who actually lived in the 1st century AD in Judea, I can respect, but not these fake evangelicals who do not even act like Christian.
And that's the biggest thing that I got to point out here.
And I'm a Roman polytheist,
Yeah.
I believe in the old Roman gods.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind here, if anybody here can notice in the chat, I'm always the one behind Dad with a fucking dustpan, because I swear when he goes on his tangents, he gets on him. But keep in mind, y'all, it's because he has been through certain experiences through his life that has shaped what he looks at religion. I always look at it on the human level. As long as you're a good human being and treat others with respect and dignity, I'm going to have no problems with you. I don't have any time to bash your religion. I don't even want to. I don't want to waste my time. I want to worry about the human level and not an organization of some sort, unless if they are doing a lot of harm. I know not every single one of you are bad Christians. That's not how that's just not how it is. So...
That's my kid. I just want to brag for a second. That's my kid.
I was raised Lutheran.
The whole view of Christianity. I'm sorry. Did I step on someone?
No, go ahead.
The view of Christianity is to reach your hand out to your fellow man.
Amen to that.
Amen. There you go.
On that note, I'd like to say, everybody, Jimmy Carter come out of surgery today.
Oh, yes, you did.
Please, regardless of what religion you are,
send
him healing blessings.
I agree. Totally. I heard there was no complications. You come out of it well, and I'm definitely behind.
Let me say something about that praying thing, because
if
y'all
you do
know
that, please also give healing blessings to a friend of mine called Ashley Holt from the UK, who today had a 7-hour cancer surgery,
Oh wow.
and he also
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Done.
hopefully he gets
Love
out of
and
it.
strength from Minnesota.
yeah.
See,
Vibes going
that's the
that
way I
way.
look at.
That's what we all need. That's what we all need.
I never speak about unless I'm in a very bitter mood about like usually after a mass shooting when when you get irritated with thoughts and prayers. I have, if you look back at I've always encouraged prayer because to me, if you're praying for somebody's health, somebody's healing or some way, in my eyes, that's just another way of sending out good, what I call, as much good vibes or as much empathy as I could pour out of my heart towards you. If there's a great spirit in the world, it takes it with you. It's that thought. If you're praying for me to drive off a cliff, well, good luck with your God when you get there, because I think you're going to have a problem. But I've always said I do not begrudge anybody's religion. There are times in my life when I am very envious of people who wear that smile. And I'll tell you the truth, the biggest woman I know in my life, my mother-in-law, Marcia's mother, was in a wheelchair since the time I met her. There was not a woman I ever met in my life who was more of a Christian, who never badmouthed a single person, prayed for everybody, believed every day that Jesus was going to make her walk that day. But she was the kindest, most gentlest, most loving person that I ever knew. And her loss was devastating to my family. And she prayed for me all the time. I went to church a lot of times just because Marie wanted me to, on Christmas.
We as people
Yeah,
also love them.
because I loved her. And that's what even if you're not a religious person, that's what your religion should teach you, to have that kind of empathy, that to sacrifice yourself for something, for the betterment of somebody else at that moment, that it's not going to benefit you. It's not going to benefit me to go to church. I don't expect to be struck by lightning and all of a sudden believe everything and there you go. No, I'm not coming out the door like that. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to sing the hymns because I know a whole lot of them. It's not like I haven't been exposed to it. And as Travis says, that I've been exposed in different ways in some places. Not in my family, though. I don't want anybody thinking that. There was nobody in my house. I had, parents that I think we went to church occasionally. My dad was into electronics. If he had a Sunday, the music would be on. He'd be reading a book or something, working on an electronics project he was working on. That's what I grew up with. But we grew up with a respect for religion. And that's what I always have. I have a respect for it. It's only when you start protesting and changing laws, your determination of whether or not a woman can control her own body, I draw the line there. It's none of your business, and it shouldn't be. It's how you display.
I did. I have a fight with my friends about that.
Yeah, it's a very touchy issue, But I'll believe it more that they're concerned about the kids when they start treating them when they're breathing. They fight against things like food stamps or any social program that's going to help the poor, and they bitch about it. Look at them, they're just
have the baby,
yeah,
throw them away.
Yeah. So
But see right there, what you're saying. That's the stuff we got to focus on and not bash the idea of it.
Yeah, well,
and so you got to really watch what you're saying.
I do. Travis knows I get carried away sometimes with my making fun of him.
Basically, the idea is not bad.
No,
it's the execution of the idea.
Well, I always say
is bad. And
I always like.
For instance, with Christianity, if you do not know first century Judea, if you do not know the context in which things were written in the Bible, Old Testament as well as New Testament, if you do not know the history of it or understand the history of it, you cannot translate it to modern day era, to modern day times. So a lot of the people who are righteous or think that they themselves are righteous and pious these days are actually the people Jesus protested against, and which he called the hypocrites in the temple praying, while you can also pray at home or should pray outside or
Yeah.
in your own private space.
Yes.
So
Ooh.
if you do not know
Really?
How did
Yeah,
the
it's,
devil come upon us? He would
Um,
grin and say that we are you and
Mhm.
lie to you.
yes.
They are the devil's seeds. That is what we've seen today.
Yeah.
and
For
talking
me,
about the devil, the
for me,
Supreme
Trump
Court
is the
Justice,
Antichrist.
they've they're kind of leaning toward Trump back and forth a little bit. I just got through reading something that Yogi put up,
Right.
and they figure that they'll have an answer for the Dreamers DACA next summer.
Next summer. So it's going to be.
Yeah,
You're going to be all right. Who's dying
Yeah,
on
I'm
it? No
gonna-
dying. God damn it.
No
That's a rule we
no
have.
dying here.
No freaking dying.
What blend do you have, John?
Huh?
What
But
blend
anyway-
is that?
What
Oh,
blend?
that's not me. That's not me.
Go ahead, Velvet.
It's pipe tobacco.
That's right. Cavendish blend is what I'm smoking. Nice. Got a little perique in it. Cool the fire down a little.
There you
And
go.
A little
so,
bit of Turkish there. I used to work in a pipe and tobacco shop. Used to blend tobacco. Ain't that some shit? Used to walk around with an ascot. An ascot. Yeah, I know it. It's funny too
An
because I was
ascot,
about.
not an ascot.
I'm
pretty
serious.
good.
I worked at a pipe and tobacco shop out in Cupertino, California, which was a very expensive neighborhood. I was maybe 20 years old. I enjoyed smoking a pipe, but and I did. I had a very extensive collection of pipes, very expensive pipes, and
John, would
I
you
had
do
to
me a
walk
favor?
around with an ascot on and a smoking jacket.
John, would you do me a favor?
What?
Clench your teeth together and say Cavendish.
Cavendish?
Cavendish.
Cavendish.
Yes, Cavendish.
Cavendish.
Thank you
This should
very
be
much.
good.
Hey, I assisted my boss. I helped hold the case and showed a guy a set of 5 Sheraton pipes that were sold in a set, and they were $5,000 for that set of pipes. That's $1,000 a piece for those pipes.
Well, we really lit up the chat.
Oh,
by
did
the
we?
way.
Ah,
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, pipe smokers, that you know. Credit,
they're not talking
the
about
names
pipes.
are rolling, but
Talking
that's
about
fine.
pipes.
That gives us time to let all our names fly. If you've never been to a pipe smoking contest, the first ones I ever attended were out in California, of course. It was like an outdoor mall where the shops were all together, but there was little sidewalks in between, little plants and stuff. It was a really beautiful place. Cupertino, of course, still is.
Is that one of the contests where the judging is how long you can keep a
Yes,
single load of tobacco going?
I still have my Canadian Job Canadian pipe that I smoked in that contest. And a Canadian is a very long stem wooden shaft, not a plastic shaft, but it's very strong. The longer the wood, the more rare it is because they'll break during manufacturing or when people are making them, and then they'll make it into a bulldog because it's got a short stem. But mine is a full-length Canadian. You get 3 grams of tobacco. You get 2 matches. You get 1 minute to use both matches. After those 60 seconds, well, sit down, have a nice glass of wine, eat some cheese, talk, and let's see smoke come out of that mouth, because it's just a matter of time. And the longest I got was I was up, I think, 48 minutes, and I was burning wood, baby. I could taste the wood because I was puffing hard near the end because I knew I was running out of tobacco. But
Super chat.
Yep. Huh? Oh, where?
Super chat.
Oh, how do you do that? How do you see that? You're doing it before me. Christine Whitaker just donated $10 through Super Chat. Christine, we appreciate it very much. That, as I keep saying, it keeps the internet bill paid. You got to pay the bills to stay online, and those donations go a long way. So we appreciate that, Christine. Diana, thank you earlier this evening for your donation. It was very Very nice of y'all, and we appreciate it very much, as we appreciate all that donate to the show. The names passing in front of you are our Patreon members, and those people donate monthly. $1 a month, baby. You can't find entertainment like this for $1 a month. Are you shitting me? Netflix, you can't get this. Such fine discussion, comedy, drama, everything you want right here, baby, for $1 a month. So we appreciate that very much, and those that support us through Super Chat, through donations. And we want to thank everybody for being here. We want to thank Hank for showing up, bub. We ain't seen you in a while, so we appreciate you. And I know you were ill there for a little bit, so we're all glad you're better. Keith, buddy, we appreciate it. Rick, thanks for coming by. SC, thanks again.
Hey.
And of course, our model. Huh? What?
Vikings, Cowboys.
When?
Vikings, Cowboys.
He's being a little ass tonight.
Yes, he is. I know. This is what you have to put up with. See there? See how modest I am now? See how I am? I want to thank both our monitors, Jen and Velda. Thank you so much for coming in and helping us out. The most precious thing anybody gives us is the time that you give us, and being a part, and being involved and informed. That's the most important thing you can do for our society, is just be informed. When you go into that voting booth, know who you're going to vote for and know why. And if you're a good person, then we all know what you're gonna do in there. And but anyway, that's about all I got. I want to thank everybody for showing up for a great conversation. I'm going to do my rant for tomorrow. I'm sorry I missed yesterday's. There's just some days that are just doesn't come out of my mouth right. And I had a hard time yesterday getting it out, so I gave up. But tomorrow we'll be back on schedule, and then we'll be back here on Thursday for a regular Blue Dot family meeting. Y'all come by and join us again. And until then, baby, keep that blue light shining, baby. Show them every day that the show starts tomorrow, so gather your popcorn. You can bet your ass as soon as it comes on, I'm sitting right in front of I play it on my iPad in the morning, which is about all I can do on my iPad anymore. It won't even show me my face yet. I just showed you that, right?
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah,
I went to other people's Facebook pages, my friends, and it's doing the same thing there. So it's my iPad.
Yep. I don't know what it could be, though. I mean, it's old.
I got to get the jumper cables out again, I guess. Anyway, we love you all so much for coming by, and enjoyed it much. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.